Hello, this is Patrick Wilson of the 49ers, and you're watching Voice of the Box with Matt Craven.
Okay, good afternoon and welcome to Voice of the Box. I am in a very hidden room here at Candlestick Park called the Chain Gang Room with, of course, the Chain Gang. I've got Jamie and Jack, and the last name again, one more time?
Beacom.
Beacom.
Yes.
And you have been a member of the Chain Gang for how long?
22 years
22
now.
years. And your son, I understand, has just started in this, so this is obviously
My first year.
first year. And you said a little bit before we started this interview that, hey, I don't have a whole lot to say because I just started.
Yeah.
But you got a lot to say, and we're going to get something out of you. Oh. Tell me, number one, I can assume how you got this job is there's a family connection here, which is very, I think, pretty cool. Tell me what you do in your first year as a member of the Chain Gang.
I am the start of the drive, or dead stick. So basically, I hold up the first down marker with an X, and whenever there's a change of possession, I just stand on whatever yard line they started on, and I stay there until they punt or a turnover.
Or touchdown.
See, that's a lot more than you said before. That is a lot to say right there. That's pretty involved. That seems pretty, you make it sound so easy, but who's there to help if you need help? I'm not saying that you need help, but if you did, you know, are you working directly with which umpire do you work directly with?
I don't really work with the umpires. I think they just kind of assume that I know what I'm doing, and I should. It's all good.
All right. Well, let's turn gears to Dad now. You said your 22nd year.
Right.
Tell me how you got your start in this. This is, you know, a rather unique behind-the-scenes job that simply a lot of people see on TV but don't really know much about it or how people get their start in this. Tell me, 22 years, first of all, how you got your start.
Well, I got my start because I was a substitute back in 1987, and my wife's stepfather was on the original crew when the 49ers first came out here to San Francisco.
Wow.
He was one of the original three. He was a coach at Middle Atherton and Ravenswood High. So I came as a substitute one day, and while we were getting dressed, just like we are now, the referee came in and said, "Hey, did you guys hear about the NFL needs another guy for the crew?" So then they said, "Oh, okay, so now you're permanent." And I've only missed one game since then.
So in 22 years, I don't know, I mean, the football hasn't changed that much. It's still, you still need the measurements, but the game around you, everything around you on the sidelines, I'm sure there's got to be changes. What can you share that's clean, that's family show here, about, you know, you've got a unique access point. There's no one between you and the field. You've got the coaches running into you, the referees running into you, and the players' bench. I imagine there's probably a story or 10 that you might be able to share that's either funny or amusing or hopefully not scary. What can you share with me on that would be a story that people just wouldn't realize?
Well, it's just a lot of the personalities of the players, and you know, the game obviously has sped up a lot. I mean, we can't even run sweeps anymore because the defenders are so fast. But you know, there have been times. What's always funny is when like someone gets nailed. Like we had this guy, someone who's not watching the game, and he gets tumbled over, and. We also enjoyed some of the great personalities, as I said. Coach Mariucci always interacted with us, and he was a really great guy. And we hated to see him go. And I've only been hit one time, and you know who it was by? It was by Mike Singletary of the Chicago Bears. He hit me right in the arm, and I was trying to back up because they ran a sweep right at me. And I think Dexter Carter was running, and I avoided Carter, and then all the pursuit came in, and I couldn't back up enough, and so I went back. Singletary hit my arm. I kind of spun, and whoever was behind me got pushed to the ground. I turned around. It was the team doctor. And I said, "You guys got to back up because we're in the front, and we can't back up if they don't back up." So that was one of the.
Now, in a nutshell, is there a written rule or just a standard protocol in terms of, you know, the game is so fast now? Are you allowed just to drop the sticks and run, get back, or what's the drill?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I actually put the clip on the chain, so in case we do have to bail out of there, that we can line up and be correct in our precision. But that's the first thing the referees, when they come and meet us an hour before the game, the first thing they say is, "Be safe. No one gets hurt." And luckily, no one's ever got hurt.
Well, let's talk.
Just embarrassed.
A little bit about that. What time? Tell me a little bit about your game day. You're here at the stadium. At what time? You meet with some officials. Tell me about you know what your game is like. The day is like rather prior to the game.
Well, we usually get here about 10:30 for a 1 o'clock game. And I go upstairs and get our time cards and meet with some people up in the front office. And then we meet the head linesman. He comes and meets with us 70 minutes before kickoffs, and he just goes over the regular stuff that we know already. And then we can go out. Usually we go out about half an hour before kickoff. And that's it. And when we finish, you know, as soon as the game is over, it takes us, you know, a while to get out of the parking lot. So that's when actually we have our little tailgate.
Got it.
We kind of visit with everybody, and we wait until the traffic goes, and usually don't even try and leave the parking lot until about 5:30.
Wow.
Because it's just packed.
Now, obviously, if the 49ers are playing a home game and they go through the playoffs, you're here. How does it work league-wide? If they're maybe for Super Bowl, for example, how do the officials or how does the league run that? Will they just use that home stadium's crew, or is there a chance you guys are watched just like officials are and selected for playoff or postseason? How does that work?
Well, that would be nice, and we're always lobbying for the Pro Bowl because all the referees come in and say, "You guys are the best. You never make mistakes, not like this team or this team." But it is the home team's crew.
Okay.
So like this year, I guess it'll be Tampa Bay's crew that's going to do that. And I know San Diego, we were supposed to host it 2003, so I was really pumped to do that. And obviously we didn't have a new stadium, and San Diego got to take it, so they got to do the Super Bowl then.
Gotcha. As we wrap up, I know you guys got a busy day in front of you. I'd love to ask just a couple of quick questions, maybe whatever comes to mind. Okay. The biggest joy about what you do, and then on the flip side, obviously, what are some of the biggest challenges? And you can give a couple examples of each if you'd like.
Well, the biggest joy is just to hear the roar of the stadium when they make a touchdown and everybody's happy, especially when we win. And the intensity during a Monday night game or a playoff game, that's really intense. And also just hanging out with the guys too after the game. It's always fun to see my friends, and it's really nice. And some of the challenges, no real big challenge. I think maybe sometimes the coaches have headphone wires that get caught in the chains, but you know, in the beginning when I first started 20 years ago, they all had headphone wires, and that was a big challenge. But now only like one guy has it. So, and you know, sometimes the team's not staying back. Some of the get back coaches are not as good as some of the others. So there are some teams that are very disciplined and they stay back, and some teams that are not, and they crowd the front of the sidelines, and we have a hard time moving. That's probably our biggest challenge.
Now, I'm assuming you got to stay on your toes here for another 22 years because you got your son here, and he's going to be looking to you for how to do this thing. So it's going to keep you refreshed, is it not?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be fun. It's kind of nice to pass on the legacy, and so it's kind of neat.
Great. Now, I'm not sure. We need to thank our special assistant today, our camera person. Would you mind giving me his name?
That's Tony Rawson. He's on the chain. He's a awesome cameraman and also awesome bartender at Kokari.
Oh, let's give a little plug. Where's Kokari? We're here. Why not? That's what we do on Voice of the Box.
On Front Street or Jackson Street? Front Street in San Francisco.
Tony, would you mind just doing a quick pan of this luxurious setup that we have here for the Chain Gang here at Candlestick Park? We can see where the actual gear is. It's going to go out in the field. It's a lovely environment, but you know what? It is our home, right? It's your home. So I appreciate you guys letting me come in to your environment and talking with you this morning.
Thanks,
have a good game today. I appreciate you taking the time.
All right.
Any other comments? You said you didn't have a lot to say, but you did. Any other final parting shots?
I'm excited for hopefully more years of Singletary.
Excellent.
And more years of cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Appreciate all you guys. We're here in the Chain Gang, Candlestick Park. I appreciate it.